Hi, beautiful people. How are ya? I hope you're having a great day. Let's make today a special day. I've been really stressed out over this series on cures. I think I've gone off the deep end, researching part two. So I decided to start splitting some of what I was going to put in part two in separate videos. I mean, I've been researching that since Sunday, and today's Friday. I was supposed to have this video out for you today. That's not going to happen. Hopefully, I can get this edited and out to you on Saturday. You'll know when you get it. I will probably put something in the community page to let you know. So this video is all about what a cure is, what's meant by a cure, what research says is a cure, and whether fibromyalgia can be cured. So here we go. Since we're covering cures for fibromyalgia that are found on the internet, I thought it was appropriate to explain what a cure is. According to Cleveland Clinic, a cure for a disease means it is completely gone and isn't coming back. Being cured means having the peace of mind that you won't feel sick or have to stick to a treatment plan or go to those quarterly doctor appointments for checkups on the meds that you're on. Anyone who suffers from a chronic illness or disease hopes for a cure. Many of us use treatments, whether prescribed or home remedies that we found on the internet. Might choose to take vitamin D, do yoga, get a massage, or any number of things. But a cure gets rid of the disease for good. You can recover from a disease and not be cured, like people who are living with substance use disorder. They may choose to not use substances, but they aren't cured. They're recovering. Remission is another term that's often used. It doesn't come with a promise that you're cured. Remission can last your whole life. On the website Healthline, the authors stated, there's no cure for fibromyalgia, but the condition can go into remission for weeks or even years at a time. This can occur, especially with treatment, they stated. In a 2016 study, researchers noted that up to 47% of 226 participants with fibromyalgia no longer met the study's definition of the condition 1 to 2 years after being diagnosed. Wow. After 11 years, about 44% of participants no longer met the definition. Are you one of them? Oh, how I would love to talk to you and pick your brain. If that's something you're interested in, send me an email. It's in the description box. The author of the article at Very Well Health online stated, it appears that people who are more likely to achieve remission often have fewer or more minor symptoms than those who do not. In addition, a reduction in pain over time appears to be a good indicator that remission is possible, unquote. Achieving remission involves lifestyle changes, pacing activities, eating healthy foods. There is one study in 2014 where researchers suggested eating gluten-free, a non-celiac diet. They say that it could help in people with non-celiac gluten sensitivity, which they stated may be an underlying cause of fibromyalgia. 20 patients without fibromyalgia went on a gluten-free diet. 17 of them had a gastrointestinal disorder. 8 had chronic fatigue disorder, and others had more diagnoses and illnesses. In all 15 patients, symptoms of fibro, chronic widespread pain, were no longer present, indicating remission, not a cure, because if they started eating gluten again, the pain would return. Additionally, 8 of the patients who had gastrointestinal problems discontinued eating lactose, which partially helped those symptoms. But then a 2023 study found that only 5.6% of fibromyalgia patients had non-celiac gluten sensitivity. In, I think, 2020, during the pandemic, I did a sensitivity test, food sensitivity test, and gluten was not one of those that showed up. Anywho, that 5.6% of fibro patients is similar to what the normal population would show. Only 21.8% of fibromyalgia patients had an improvement in symptoms by going gluten-free, which was mostly from intestinal issues. And that was quite different from that 2014 study. And that's why I've said many, many times that there isn't one diet that works for all of us. It has to be individualized to our needs, and our needs can change. So our diet can change. But I think a gluten-free diet could be helpful in people with fibro and diarrhea or intraepithelial lymphocytosis. That's an elevated white blood cell count in your gastrointestinal tract. Are any of you eating gluten-free? I tend to choose a bread that's keto friendly, far less carbs. It isn't gluten-free, but I also eat whole grain crackers or whole wheat crackers with sour cream dip, which is something I've only started in the last year. I was never really a fan of crackers, but whole wheat is something I thought I'd add because I need the fiber. And I have considered removing gluten, but I don't see the point if I'm not gluten sensitive. But for the people in both studies, it appears to have been worth it to them. It's likely that there won't be a cure for fibromyalgia in our lifetime, but newer and better treatments will be available. Treatments mask symptoms. So I would love a cure. I mean, if I didn't have to spend money and all these things to treat my illness, to help me to feel better, wow, I'd have a lot more money. And I'm sure you would too. I read recently that there hasn't been a cure for an illness since polio in 1954, but that wasn't true. Polio continued in areas of the world, but by 2016, there were only 43 cases reported. That's awesome. Smallpox was eradicated in 1980, and measles, mumps, and rubella has a vaccine. In 2017, though, 110,000 people died of measles, with the majority of them being younger than 5 years old. I guess they didn't get the vaccine. And according to Orlando Clinical Research Center, there are 5 diseases that could be cured in our lifetime. Probably not my lifetime, but somebody in their 20s in their lifetime. And those are HIV/AIDS, Alzheimer's disease, cancer, cystic fibrosis, and heart disease. Wow. I'm not sure. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? Now, people with fibromyalgia, well, we have treatments like gabapentin, pregabalin, and amitriptyline. And we use alternative treatments like magnesium, vitamin D, and anything else that might promise to ease our symptoms, but nothing has cured us yet. Maybe some of you have found remission, or like me, have been able to reduce your symptoms significantly through many different means. So let's talk about it. I'd love to read your comments. And I find all of this really interesting. Do you? Part 2 of the Cures Fibromyalgia series will be out as soon as I can get it edited, hopefully Tuesday. So I hope you learned something. I send you gentle hugs and support. Love you.